Coach, maybe you can start off and just talk about the penalties, and was there a lack of focus?
Thanks for starting with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need to clean it up, and that's 100% on me. I thought we played with an unbelievable effort level, great determination, great desire. Now we need to play with a little bit more discipline. A couple of those things, the officials probably said that they wouldn't have been called in some other situations, and so we'll get that solved from that angle. But certainly from our standpoint, we needed to finish drives in the first half. Offensively got stubbed our own toe with some silly penalties, and then put our defense on a short field with a couple of plays that are weird. But absolutely have to clean that up going forward.
That was really uncharacteristic of your team so far. Was there a message at halftime?
There were many messages throughout the game. Yes. Yeah, we have that. I mean, that's not who we are. A couple of them, I mean, Drew Howell, I would let marry my daughter, and he was confused and hit a guy late, and I believe him. And that's kind of what happened. A couple of the other things we'll fix, absolutely.
What wasn't working for Byron today? Marshall.
What wasn't working for Byron today? I don't know what that means.
It seemed like 15 carries, 31 yards. I think he only had a 2.2 average.
First two questions are good ones, penalties and what's wrong with Byron Marshall. Byron Marshall is a great tailback, and it's an 11-man job of running the football. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Byron Marshall. We could have put him in there at the end to pad those stats, but he knows that his football team won today. He didn't have bad stats today. His football team won today.
Coach, how big is it for you guys in a game like this where teams are kind of feeling each other out to get that 71-yard touchdown run that says, yeah, we can do it against these guys too?
So much at the beginning, we knew that they weren't going to play us how they played BYU, and they didn't. They played us kind of completely differently, and we sort of anticipated some of that stuff. We made some changes on the fly, and our guys did a great job of to use your phrase, feel them out. But that's a good football team. It's the tallest. I think that's the tallest football team I've ever seen in my life. They're huge. But we had to just be on point in terms of communication, identifying what they were doing to try to stop us, and our guys for the most part did a good job of that.
What does it say about them if they're a good football team that you just beat them 59-10? What does it say about you guys?
Well, it's number two. That's what it says. And nothing more, nothing less. We play another great program next week. Our flight will be short going back. It'll feel short. And start preparing for Tennessee tomorrow. But the only thing it does when you win is it gives you a chance to have one more. And 1-0 is good, 2-0 is a little bit better, and now we need to have a great Sunday in recovery and get rolling.
You talked all week about those D tackles, and you went right at them with that play with Mark. Is there something they did in that situation? You thought maybe there'd be a hole there?
Well, those guys, man, as advertised up front, I thought they were outstanding. I think that defense is really good. We had some guys, that play in particular, one of them where we kind of got a step and got the rest of the guys leaning. It was just something that we thought we had a shot to kind of spread the field and let Marcus go and try to use their kind of their aggression against them, and they're very, again, I think that's a very talented team.
As a staff, how do you determine how you want to use D'Anthony Thomas all the time, and do you plan on changing it up every week?
We do, and if we told you, we'd have to kill you. So we can't. But we want the ball in his hands, and we're trying to make a concerted effort from the first play to try to create some space, whether it's the screen game or as a receiver, as a movement guy. But he likes to be that guy, kind of a moving target. But we need the ball in his hands, and yeah, we talk about it all the time of ways and ways to move him, ways to line him up, to get him the ball.
I know that
Anthony Thomas is back in the hallway.
Perfect.
You said you kind of 20 carries is about his limits as far as the running back goes. Just overall, as far as responsibility, how much do you think he can handle?
I don't know. I've said before, when asked that, you never want to be able to answer that question because he's hurt, and it's kind of like how many pitches can the right-hander throw? I don't, you don't want to get to that magic number when he needs the Tommy John surgery, but we need to get him the ball. He's a great player, and going back, and I'm not trying to be smart about Byron Marshall, but at some point someone's not going to have the ball in our offense, and sometimes we'll throw it and sometimes we'll run it, and that's where somebody else needs to pick up the slack.
Were they over pursuing a little bit on the running back on those inside runs because they were stuffing pretty good early with the defensive tackles? which is why I think they took advantage of Marcus making that run. Were they over pursuing? Were the guards missing some assignments? What was going on with those early run stuffs that was happening inside?
Are you saying from our standpoint?
From their standpoint, were they overplaying the running backs on those reads, or
Why were they
was that
successful
somebody-
against your inside zone?
The inside zone was
I
stuffed
think they've got a
early.
great defensive line. Very stout front guys. They moved a lot, and we were trying to give them some different looks. But we thought if we stayed with our plan, and we'd be okay in the end.
What did Thomas Tyner show you in just a few touches today?
Natural runner, man. I thought that zone cut on his longer touchdown. I thought that was it was a natural cut. Guys kind of have that or they don't. That's not something. Gary Campbell's an unbelievable running back coach, but you can't teach that feel and that kind of angle that he took, and so that's encouraging.
Mark Helfrich, what do you by the way your team handled the travel? That's a longer trip
Great.
than you guys usually make.
Yeah, they were very good with that. Again, that's why it was just frustrating with the penalties. I thought we handled everything great except some silly penalties, and that's gonna haunt us against different people, and could have haunted us today. But all in all, we need to finish it up the right way on our way home and get ready for
A lot of
game
penalties.
three.
A lot of penalties is one thing. To get 5, 15-yard penalties in the first half. How much more concern is that than just having a bunch of silly little guys?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a couple of those I think were interesting. And I don't mean that. I'm not arguing them. They're they were called, and so we're going to certainly address them. And I did address them. And we talked about at halftime. We played with incredible desire. We need to play with incredible desire and discipline. And that's not something that we're ever going to stand for or be about. Is those kind of penalties. All those guys are coming over and apologizing to me, and it doesn't help us now. Right after it happens, and so that'll be fixed.